If you have a superpower, how would you use it to turn the economy around?
Reopening, recession, and New Year resolutions. Hi, I'm Selena.
Hi, I'm Carmen, and welcome to Two Analysts, One Hat 2023.
What should investors keep an eye on in 2023? First, we know there are many uncertainties that is weighing on investors' mind. First and foremost is the recession fears. The IMF has actually warned that up to 1/3 of the global economy may be in recession this year. Some of the economic headwinds that we're familiar with include aggressive rate hikes by major central banks like the Fed, high inflation, supply chain disruptions, and of course, the ongoing Russia-Ukraine war. So amidst all this complex economic landscape, it is unsurprising that we should expect more market volatility.
Equities have tumbled this year. Is there more room to fall with various headwinds? I think as Selena shared earlier on, there are really a lot of headwinds out in the market. Our house view is that this is going to be a year whereby there will be two halves. First half, we'll see a lot more volatility and perhaps even uncertainty. But I think going to the second half, prospects are actually looking much better. In terms of outlook, we think that second half of 2023 is likely to be much better than last year.
Here's a question from TikTok. Is it a good time to go into bonds? Well, this is a very interesting question because last year we saw very exaggerated volatility in the bond market. So we're starting to see bond yields come off a little bit in the expectation that a recession will make the central banks halt in their rate tightening cycle.
If you have a superpower, how would you use it to turn the economy around?
Wow, superpower. I think a lot of people would want to know whether they can read whether the stock market is going up or down. How do you think China's reopening may affect equities?
Okay, actually this is turning out to be a little bit more positive than we expected. So if you take a look at, for example, the MSCI Asia ex-Japan index, it was actually, in terms of the expectation going forward for 12 months, it's been down for the last 17 months or so. But in the last 2 months or so, you can see the optimism has actually come back into the market, partly after the whole capitulation during the whole Congress party where the market actually corrected. So I think going into 2023 now, the market is actually counting on China to be one of the key factors that will actually drive growth for Asia. Closer to home, what are the growth prospects for ASEAN?
I think if you look around, within our neighborhood, actually Malaysia and Indonesia should see fairly stable growth. Last year, they were helped by the commodity boom. This year, the commodity boom will subside a little bit, but we are also starting to see, political uncertainty subside in Malaysia. And for Indonesia, actually growth prospects are fairly healthy for the investment front. For Singapore itself, manufacturing electronics have seen momentum slow quite significantly in the past couple of months. But the services side is picking up, especially with the return of leisure and also MICE travellers. So going ahead, I think domestic and outward-looking services should do the heavy lifting from here.
Okay, we have a question from TikTok. One thing you wish you did invest in 2022, Selena?
Wow, there are so many things I wish I invested in 2022, including Singapore property, which is your expertise.
Yes.
Especially before the cooling measures.
Oh yes, quite true. And even after the cooling measure, the prices continue to go up anyway. So.
Are you still optimistic for this year?
Okay, actually, if you look at the indices which just came out this recently, and in fact, all the numbers are actually looking quite positive. But obviously, we're heading to the recessionary environment. Mortgage rate is something that people are very wary of, especially in a very high interest rate environment. So that could possibly be a dampener for the property sector. So we still expect property prices to go up, but definitely not at the same level as in 2021 or even 2022. So there will be a moderation.
What was your favourite Two Analysts, One Hat episode in 2022?
Bubble tea, bubble tea, bubble tea.
Chicken Run!
That's all we have for today. See you next time. Remember, fortune favours the brave. And
stay calm, invest on, and look forward to the next Two Analysts, One Hat episodes.
Happy New Year!